Welcome, 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 welcome. It sounds like I'm getting the feedback. Welcome.
So that's how you feel?
Welcome, welcome, welcome. And we are back for another exclusive. Peace and blessings to everyone out there. This is Peanut Nola 504, and this is the Aborigine team. And tonight, we have a lot to talk about. And we're going to talk about a lot. And I know it takes a while for me to come on because I've been having a couple of things I have to take care of. But I'm ready for a good Friday. What? I'm lying. This ain't Friday. It's Monday. Good Monday night. But we're going to talk about Ice Cube. We're going to talk about Ice Cube and the agenda. What is his agenda? And we're also going to talk about concentration camps. And Brother Real Rap has a lot to say today. And we also got the indigenous brother in the house, indigenous warrior. And I just want to tell you guys, thank you for showing up as usual. Okay? So I'm going to mute the mic and we're going to start this off with Real Rap. Peace and blessing, bro.
Peace and blessings, respect and love. Salute to the panel. You know what I'm saying? Salute to my brother, Mr. 504 brother. Salute to the chat. Yeah, man, like we definitely gonna
Same
get
to
into
you, brother. Same to you, family.
for sure. We definitely gonna get into some live conversation tonight. Basically like one thing that I want to bring up also is some political things. You know what I'm saying? there's some things in government that's being passed, like Senate Bill 145 coming out of Northern California, where they're trying to make a 10-year age gap on sexual predators. You know what I'm saying? And they're trying to disguise it as if like someone is 18 or 19 and they're dating a 17-year-old, but that's not the case because like what they're trying to do is have the judge put it in the judge's hands, take it out of the jury to where like I said, if there's a 10-year gap, so if the child is 14 and the predator is 24, like the judge can take the can take them like off like pedophile register
And
and
she
not
don't.
have them be like sexual offenders.
Yeah, he or she may, if it's suitable for the judge, they do not have to register as a sex offender if the judge sees fit. So
Right.
that's the point. I'm with you on that. This is what I'm talking about. I've been preaching this for the last few weeks. Like, when are we going to wake up and realize this right here? Like, it's a 10 year. So you mean to tell me you have a 24-year-old man dating a 14-year-old daughter,
Right.
a 14-year-old girl? I have a 14-year-old, so I know and I ain't might let that ride. You see what I'm saying? And that's all a part of the agenda right there, man. So, and I felt like whoever brought this to the table to even be thought of as a bill or be voted on was a loser.
Right.
You see, there's some other words I want to use, but I don't. I'm not gonna use them today. But at the end of the day, y'all know where I'm going with this because it's not cool on no level, man. And you see, for years now they've been promoting this where it looks like it's gonna be legal for. They've been trying to make it, and some of them believe being a pedophile is a way of life.
Right.
There's no
Well, look,
harm in that.
check this out. Like, there's a group called NAMBLA, and it's North American Man Boy Love Association. Like, and like they went underground basically, but like they were started, and Mark Zuckerberg allegedly was a part of the group, and like it went public that he had unfriended the group on Facebook or whatever. So yeah, I guess he had stopped following, and it was public, and it went viral. And that's the thing that people don't understand. All this shit is connected, like from politics to entertainment, sports, like people in movies, like it's all connected. You know what I'm saying? And like what they're called are pansexuals. It's not just homosexuals, like they're pansexuals. So it's like anything goes. That's what a pansexual is, and that's what you have a lot of within the so-called industry. So with that being said, like talk about that. As far as like the Ice Cube thing, like we'll talk about that as well. Um, we'll talk about the NFAC and like the effects on the so-called black community, and we'll get into some indigenous knowledge. Uh, I'm gonna probably have to leave at 9 o'clock because I'm going live, Peanut. But I'll give y'all like a good hour though.
Yeah, give you a good hour win, a good power hour right quick.
But we definitely will enjoy your power hour. Okay.
That's a bet.
So what I do want to let everybody understand is that I gotta make you think about all the things that's going on. What are the agendas out here when it comes down to celebrities? And I hear the backlash of Ice Cube. So I want your opinion about Ice Cube. Can we trust him anymore? Or is this just media bias or attack on Ice Cube because of his decision to meet with Donald Trump? Now, I want you guys to remember that I am not affiliated with the Democrats or the Republicans. I don't like either party. Okay? So I want people to understand that. But we do want to know because Malcolm X spoke about this and he talked about celebrities. That we're the only nation of people that allow our celebrities to talk for us. So are you cool with Ice Cube talking for Aborigine people?
Oh, okay, I'm gonna keep it a buck on this right here. And he didn't, from what I got, he didn't say, "Oh, I'm endorsing Donald Trump," none of that. He didn't say that. His campaign took it and split the story. Okay, so now what I do respect his mind on is the fact that he went to both parties. You did and asked them to sit down with him and let us know what your plan is for the black community, with the melanated community, and the the Democrats
But
said,
why
"Hold
is he
on,
speaking for us, brother? I want to
I
know
ain't
this.
say
Why
nothing
is
about."
Ice Cube and why is he picked to speak for melanated people?
But you gotta look
I'm
at it
asking
like
you
this,
that.
man. But you gotta look at it like this.
Who gave him that power?
Hey, man, if he took it up on his own and want to do, that's all up on him. If he stepped up to the plate and speak up for everybody, oh well. The fact that he did sit down with both of them. Yeah, he ain't the first person they spoke. They speaking for us. So many others saying speaking for us. Well, all I can respect his mind is the fact that he was trying to get results.
No, let me
Let's
see
make
what
some
this
sense
boy
out of
got.
this. I'm just asking you. I'm not against Ice Cube or for him. I'm just asking, do you think this is an agenda behind this? Okay?
All right,
Okay,
well,
can I
look,
clarify, Peanut?
Go ahead.
What I see is the plan was ultimately drawn up by political leaders that Ice Cube went to. They use Ice Cube to place it into hands or go to the media because they use it entertainers to produce this because people follow them. So in retrospect, I think that okay, since Ice Cube got a lot of followers in the hood because of his music, he's an entertainer just like Democrats use Cardi B. They drew the plan up and said, let's send Ice Cube in there to do it. So I don't know if he really with it or he just using it as a publicity stunt. That's the question that we need to be asking.
That's right, brother. We have a comment and it says, I feel Ice Cube decided to meet with Donald Trump or Joe Biden. Let him do what he please, regardless. Haven't heard of Cube establishing Aborigine schools, banks, grocery stores, or he's doing him. Oh, that's a nice statement. Go ahead, real rap.
all right. As far as Q, I've heard him speak on some indigenous topics, like and like use like the indigenous word, like so. Uh, like the thing with Q though is I tell everybody, our people didn't vote us into this mess, and like you're not gonna vote us out. You know what I'm saying? Like the politics that they trying to do. From what I heard, it was like 500 billion. Like that's not enough. You know what I'm saying? For COVID, America dropped like 4 trillion. You know what I'm saying? At the drop of a dime. So 500 billion, that's not gonna be enough. Now the fact that he did try to meet with both parties, that's cool. But I mean, it's not gonna result in anything. You know what I'm saying? Because so-called blacks in America, like we don't have another country to back us up militarily. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't have that. Like other people that live here, Chinese, certain Europeans, like they have countries. Like other Asians, like they have countries that will back them up. You know what I'm saying? If America would start killing like Koreans, they would have a problem with North Korea. You know what I'm saying? So, like that's the thing with it, with the like the system. You know, like
I
I'm
bet.
not gonna I'm not gonna support a system like I'm not gonna vote into a system that's corrupt. You know what I'm saying? Number one, and that's a cesspool. Like it's you know what I'm saying. Like the system is already failing, but it was created to fail us. Like it wasn't created for us to win. Now I tell people like individually, people can do well, but until cats come together on an economic base, and put our economic power together. I'm gonna grab my computer and I'm gonna show you like the whole thing with voting. Like the reason why certain groups don't vote is because they have lobbyists, and basically lobbyists are like middlemen, and they buy certain agendas. You know what I'm saying? They pay out certain politicians for certain agendas, and that's what gets pushed.
I definitely agree with you because I did hear Ice Cube on multiple times talk about Aboriginal people. So I want to clarify that with you, the fact that you were right. He did speak multiple times about us being Aboriginal people, and we're not from another land. So I did hear that clip several times, and you definitely are correct. Um, let's move over to Mr. 504,
Yeah, I would just
Indigenous Warrior.
no. I was saying I agree because like I was saying though, at the end of the day, bro, he did took it upon himself to go see what was in the deal for us to see why we was voting. I get that, and I'm glad he did that. But let's not act like he's the first celebrity that they use to so-called speak for the black people. It's a game that they playing. Like I told you just like I told you when they
Brother,
don't.
brother, you're echoing. Do you have your something? Something's going on with your echo.
Can you hear me, bro?
Everyone, please mic your mute buttons when he talks because it might be causing an echo. But I'm gonna read this while everybody fix that. These comments. Ice Cube is in a crook game. Two schools, wings that he has no clue of what he's getting into. Both sides is going to play him like a joke, deflecting us. I'm okay, and I'm gonna go with this one. He says the one thing that stood out for me is that Q is the only celebrity that proposed something for us, not a plot. Okay, not for minorities. Okay, and then Copper Color said, okay, that that's a start. Misunderstanding with Q. I will definitely admit that that's a start and a big risk. Props to Q for that, but a lot more still needs to be done. Okay, we're gonna go back to who wants it.
I get it. First of
Go
all,
ahead,
you
brother.
gotta realize, uh, Ice Cube. I'm telling you where he get his political ignorance from. Ice Cube is up under the Nation of Islam. If y'all didn't know that, he been for a long time. So if you think he don't know what's going on and what's written up is not coming from them, which they say they for us, but that's still a African thing. So that's what I'm trying to get y'all to see. You got to go back and look. Khalid Muhammad called him out a long time ago.
Speak it, brother.
So, like I said, you got to pay attention to what you and do your real research. That's why I said the question is Ice Cube speaking for all, or is he just speaking for the Nation of Islam?
What you got to say about that real rap? That's kind of deep.
All right, well, in my opinion, all celebrities, anybody that has a name recognition is compromised. Like, if we just gonna be real, I'm gonna just be real. You know what I'm saying? Like, they all have signed an oath under like the fraternal order. See, like, I don't get into like the Illuminati. That's some like nigga shit. You know what I'm saying? That's like nigga nonsense. Like, there's fraternal orders. You know what I'm saying? And you have Freemasons. Like, that's what he is. Like, when you see him dressed in all black, you know what I'm saying? That's him saluting to Saturn. You know what I'm saying? That's like one of the guys that they worship in the industry. You know what I'm saying? The so-called Baphomet, like the Baphomet, like whatever, like the androgynous deity, like as above, so below, like all that. So, is anything gonna come out of it? No. You know what I'm saying? personally, I'm gonna let it rock. But I personally, originally, I thought it was like for personal gain because I don't see anything happening. And at the end of the day, people that speak up, like LeBron James, Serena Williams, people like that, they're sponsored by Nike. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not sure exactly who uh, Cube is tied in with. I know he was like on that Nation of Islam stuff. But at the end of the day, that's all a cover up. Like all that religion stuff, that's all a cover up. That's in the front of the curtain. Behind the curtain, they were like they're into the occult, you know what I'm saying? They're into that pansexuality and they're into all that shit. Especially being in the entertainment industry. That's what you gotta do. So like with Q, um, I don't see anything coming out of it for so called black people as a nation. You know what I'm saying?
I can agree with that. And like you said, behind the curtain, because Minister Farrakhan, you big Nation of Islam, but I see you kissing white men. So I can respect what you just
Wow.
said behind the curtain. So I don't know. You can't trust the nation. If is y'all really standing up for the people when your master?
I want to ask you that. I gotta ask you
you
that, Alex.
you gotta
When we
remember
talk,
too. You
when we
gotta
talk
remember.
about somebody's talk.
Oh no, I was saying, but you got just to touch on that part you just said, Alex, about him kissing a white man. You got to remember, the Islam religion was created behind a white man.
I was just about to say that. Go ahead,
So,
man.
so they gonna have to step away from that whole thing if they want to be taken serious. You see, and that's what a lot of people be saying these days that all religion was man made up behind a white man.
Yeah, Farad Muhammad was definitely a white man.
You see what I'm saying? So that plays on. That does not forget that don't play a role in this stuff too. You see, it's all a part of early programming. A lot of people don't even. A lot of people don't even know that Islam was created by a white man. Leave it to peace. Some people they'll think Elijah Muhammad created it. You see, it's all a part of a game. And just like Double Real say, is all a part of it's a cover up for what I don't know. But it's all a part of a agenda that they're trying to pull up. Like I said, when Trump came with that 500 billion plan, that was a bribe because he seen his numbers wasn't doing good, so he started trying. Somebody went back and told you about appeal to the black community the best way you know how. And he came with that proposal because until then he wasn't worried about them. We never even know him worrying about us. He been selfish his whole life. All he was worried about was getting back in that spot that he's in today. He desperate.
Yeah, this is really deep. What I want to ask you guys, not just that. When we were talking about Grandmaster Jay, Real Rap knows a lot about that. They came down to Lafayette, Louisiana, and actually he was standing up for the brother who got killed. Wasn't that happened? Real Rap, didn't that happen?
Yes, it did. Like rest in peace to Trey for Pellerin. Like he had got killed in my city, and like one of the senators that said that at the end FAC came, there would be bodies. So Grandmaster Jay said, "Well, if you kill one of us, I'll be killing 10 of y'all," and that's got to be the energy. That's what I'm saying when I say cat. Like when I say that people need to come together, that's exactly what I mean. You know what I'm saying? That, like people need to come together on as far as like having like the guns together, coming together on like a like economic base, and you know like like stop with the BS. You know what I'm saying? Stop with like the like trivial stuff. Like if the person didn't harm you, or like a family member, like even if it's just words, cats can get over that. Because like it's bigger stuff going on in the world right now. So I always tell people like it's not gonna be in your benefit to come together at the last minute. It'll be in your benefit to come together now. You know what I'm saying? And be able to set up certain I'm saying certain procedures and shit on how if anything pops off on how how we're gonna react and be proactive.
Okay, Dawn Birdsong said, so when are we going to stop going back and forth? Get a plan and push it forward, regardless of the religions and any other beliefs. The one thing that we have in common is suffering in this country. Anybody have a response to that message? And I will say it
Yeah,
last. Go ahead.
yeah. I was just reading that, and I was gonna read it myself, but you brought it up. In the response to that, I said, first of all, the plan. I said we gonna have to take back resources. I mean, we're not gonna do nothing like everybody talking about. We going to war. First of all, we can't go to war. We can't do nothing. We don't have the resources. The first thing gonna happen if we try to get in cahoots and fight with these people, they control the water supply. It's gonna get cut. Now you can go get water from a spring, creek, boil it, drink it. Next thing gonna happen, they gonna cut the food supply. 90% of the community don't know how to hunt no more. That's why they overweight, eating fast foods and stuff. They cut the food supply damn wet. So if we did get together, came together and stood and fight, a lot of us gonna run because we ain't got the resources, and you gonna run right back to master and tell what we doing because you gonna want some handouts. So the plan, I don't know the plan until we get control of resources, land, property, growing our own foods, getting good water supply. I ain't no other plan. They in control.
And in response to that, I have to sit there and think about when you say that we all suffering. We definitely suffering. But I have to say this: we got other nations of people that don't want to work with us. We have other suffering people who don't want to suffer with us. See, I don't like to single out the others, but until they want to create a dialogue with us and work with us, we can't be one. We have other nations of people who don't have respect for us, and we don't have respect for ourselves. So I'm going to go in with let me see. Go ahead, real rap. Respond to that, please.
Yeah, like as far as with the resources and the land, I definitely agree with that because that's what you need. But I'll still tell you at the very least, take care of yourself and your family. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like he was right. Um, I know with cheap peanut, I know peanut plants. I know pre, I know peanut has certain crops like that's what it would take on a major scale. You know what I'm saying? To be able to feed yourself as a people, and then like how bro said, like to have a water supply. So I forgot to add that, but obviously like that's what you need, and then obviously like you need money, and this is the point that like one of my OGs had made, like older cat. If you put all the billionaires in America together, the 7 billionaires that they have, it's not even like 15 billion. It's not more than that. You know what I'm saying? If if Bill Gates had woke up tomorrow with that in his bank account, he killed himself. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not no money on a grand scale. On a grand scale. So basically, what my dude was trying to get at is if there's no money like really with them, you know, the example that he made is it costs 500 million to run the HBCU. You know, like they would run out of money trying to run it basically. And something else. With that being said, like there's no money in the communities. You know what I'm saying? Like 50, 60,000 a year. That's like barely making. You know what I'm saying? Like, and after they had took the gold standard out in 1933 and the silver standard in 1965, they took the resource from back in the money. That's why the money's not worth shit. That's why, like, you work a salary, and the salary, you know, it doesn't, you know, like, you basically don't get the bang for your buck that you're looking for because the dollar's not backed by natural resource. You know what I'm saying? So, with all that being said, like, that's what we would have to get to too. Like, the system would have to go away. The system that we have today would have to be like gone, and we would have to get back to having a natural resource as the currency, you know, and that will go a long way, you know.
Okay, what Dawn Birdsong was saying, brothers, as a collectively, we are smarter than that. I'm not talking about war, and I agree with you. But what and I definitely agree with you. But what we have to understand is that we have to start building union with each other, and that's growing, learning how to grow in vegetables. I've told this. I've been telling people. They used to laugh at me. They said, "Oh, you going crazy, Chief?" And I started growing my own vegetables. I cut down a lot of trees in the back to grow more farmland to try to feed my neighbors. It's up to us to stand up for us. We have to teach hunting. We don't do these things, and we have to come together. Look, we can't keep relying on the government. The government does not care about us. We got to rely on us. And this is why we build these platforms to get dialogue so we can learn from each other. The only way we're going to learn is come up with ideas. But
Well, a big one, like you said about plenty of food, a big one that I learned that I use at my house, we cut portions and we learn to eat once a day. I mean, I eat once a day and I'm good because society made us where we overeat and think we need all that food, eat 3 times. No, you don't. You don't have to eat 3 times a day.
that's right.
You eat once a day and have portions of meal and you can take care of it'll last you. But if you stick to eating all that negative food, putting all that negative food in your body, and then you get addicted to it, like sugar is the most addictive. They did a research with sugar, heroin, coke, all that kind of stuff with drugs. The folks that was withdrawal from sugar was worse than people on cocaine, heroin, weed, and whatever else. And sugar is in darn near everything you buy out the store. So eating organic or natural, non-GMO foods and learn how to eat one portion a day, you will be like helping yourself and your family a whole lot better because if stuff got
Well, you're
bad and
speaking the truth.
you had to supply food and you know you had to make it last and you could go with one meal a day, it wouldn't be hard to last. You could stand because you're not starving.
Man, I tell you, sugar is actually destroying us. And I'm a victim to sugar. And my mother, she ended up with diabetes. Even though cancer killed her, we have to understand the stuff that you're talking about, man. This is awesome, bro. Because this is knowledge that a lot of people don't know. They just go with their everyday lives and wondering why we don't live 80, 90, and our people used to live far beyond 100.
Well, that's because we was like back to like what you saying you doing now. My grandfather, all the crops was grown on the land, and most of the meat was came out the woods. You ever heard of what a smokehouse? You ever heard of a smokehouse?
That's
A
right.
smoke a smokehouse in the country was killed. They hung it out there in the smokehouse. My grandfather had one. They smoked the meat, preserved it, and it wasn't, that stuff out the stores. And like you said, they live to be 80, 90, 100 years old, eating natural. But then when we start going on further into the 90s, everybody started turning over into fast foods and going to the grocery stores. And then look what happened. Folks started getting cancer. It started getting big. That was the first thing. Then next came next. After that, it was just disease after disease. After 95, it was just all kind of diseases because nobody was producing their own food no more. And then the government made a law against it. If you mass production it and you wasn't commercial and had license, they came in and seized your property if you was selling your own food products and gardening.
Yeah, that's the same thing with the liquor law. When it was, they made profits off liquor. So, but I want to go back to Real Rap because he has a very short time. Go ahead, brother Real.
With like what's being said right now,
Yeah,
um, like what was the last part? My bad. I was moving around.
explain to him, brother Alex.
Oh, we was just talking about, for us the land and resources and the way we eat and how obese
All right, right. All right, all
the
right,
our country is.
all right. Bet. Yeah. Personally, I think as uh as copper colored people, I think we should go back to being vegan. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like you can still eat fish, chicken, if that's your thing. But I think people should be eating way less meat and way more vegetables. You know what I'm saying? Like I was talking to my dad earlier. He was having like a blood pressure issue. He said that my mom had made him like a spinach cucumber smoothie, and he said he drank it and it came like all the way back down to regular. So like that's what that's what our body reacts to is vegetables, fruits, like natural stuff because we're people from the ground. You know what I'm saying? The so-called like ant people, that's us. Like if you look up history on the Louisiana and Mississippi mound builders, you'll find mounds all throughout Louisiana going up, following like the Mississippi on up to St. Louis, up to like Missouri and Illinois and Cairo and over there, where you have like actual pyramids. You know what I'm saying? And then you have pyramids in Arizona as well. You know what I'm saying? So some people would tell you that America is really the old world that they forgot about. You know what I'm saying? And they came back. Like if you look up the Olmecs and you look up like the Fleur de Lis, that's an old symbol. It's it's really like a like a maze, like a cornstalk. And like the French had adopted it because our people went out there. Our people were in Europe. Our people had went and had edified like the Africans and shit, taught the world. And they came back to this peninsula. They came back to parts of Louisiana, and then they went back to that like Mexican peninsula. I can't pronounce, but it's like the Yucatan, and then like the some Teclan. Like I can't pronounce it, but that part between Mexico and South America, like that little peninsula right there. Uh, so back to the eating habits. That's what our ancestors did. Like They were heavy into agriculture. They grew everything. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it would take for us to do. Like start back growing and eating what we grow, and not just that. Like I said, like if you don't like to eat vegetables, like you could take it and get some wild honey and a couple other things and like make a smoothie. You know what I'm saying? And it'll be the best thing you ever had. It'll be the best thing for you. Like I tell people, like you're supposed to eat to live, not live to eat. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I tell people, like if you do it in spurts, if you go vegan in spurts, like you'll feel the difference eating vegetables like full time. Like your body will love it and you'll feel good. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm on. And healthy drinks too. Like there's like a company. I'm not gonna say the name, but it's like a square bottle, and like it's all natural. Like it's all fruits and vegetables in it. They sell it at like certain gas stations, man. It's like some of the best drink ever. You know what I'm saying? I drink a lot of that. I drink a lot of tea. Drinking warm tea is good for the body as well too. Drink warm tea.
Yeah, that's
And,
all I do is drink tea.
right. It helps to
Yeah.
take them toxins. It helps take the toxins like out of the body. Drink warm tea because that's what the
Real
body
rap.
reacts better to.
Purple
You
lover in the house.
oh, what's up,
Yeah,
Miss Purple? Real rap. You said something earlier about America being original. I had read somewhere that uh the Mississippi River was actually the Nile River. And if you really look at the map, they are pretty much the same.
right. It mirrors
So
like everything in America.
It was told in reverse.
Yeah, like I mean, like you could say that too, but everything in America was it predates. Like our mounds are older, our pyramids are older. You know what I'm saying? There's artifacts that we have in them caves in Arizona that people would think was Egyptian, but that came from here first. You know what I'm saying? And
mm,
if you look at like if you look at like the Pangea maps, or whatever, they'll say that the first human was really found here. You know what I'm saying? The first skulls and stuff like that. So, and that's the thing too. The further they deep, the further they dig, like deep, like like the deeper that they get, the darker it gets. You know what I'm saying? So, like it's our relatives. You know what I'm saying? From the past, like it's just nothing but evidence of things that they did. Now, this is the thing too, though. I always tell my indigenous people, we could big up our ancestors and all that. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But we had to be able to, you know, make what they did relevant today. It doesn't make sense to live off what they did and eat off their glory if we're not setting up our kids, you know what I'm saying, with some of the things that we could do in this generation. So I always tell people that, like, there's nothing wrong with bigging up the ancestors, but, like, who's going to big us up 70 years from now, 20 years from now, you know what I'm saying? Like, when they talk about this time period, like, what are we going to do as far as, what I'm saying, as far as people?
I like the fact that you guys are talking about health and talking about, just eating well. And if you look at our people, we are overweight. And when I think about the cars, the vehicles have handcuffed us. Our people used to walk everywhere. We would walk everywhere. And now we're so reliant on vehicles. So I'm going to read this. It says, indeed, there are government underground basements, and underwater bases, and all around the so-called American, some used for scientific purposes, and some used for manufacturing. I want you guys to understand this. These are facts. Because when we talk about the Underground Railroad and all these other things, the president has underground places where he can escape in case nuclear war. There's a lot of things that we don't know. And the history of America is your history that has been taken away from you. We are the true Indians of this land. And you may not even have known that, but due to research, you will learn that we are the truth and the end. So there's many are out here that are saying, because I was on TikTok, and they're saying that we were hiding and we were lying, saying that we were Indians. I think these are the Native Americans that are called Mongoloids. They said that they were hiding us, and then we started imitating them. See, the difference is we never said that we were the Native Americans. We said that we were the Aborigine. We said we were here first. Now the natives made their own self, saying that they are the original of this country. But how you gonna be the original if you come from Asia? How are you the original if you come from somewhere else? So I just want you guys to keep doing your research. We only better together than apart. Go ahead, 504.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you, big brother.
Oh, all right. But yeah, though, I was just saying though, bro. You know, that's a good question because for the simple reason, man, we was already, like you said, we was already here. We can't. No, y'all miss me with that now. Because at the end of the day, man, you have to really, just like that lady said, that person said about the artifacts underground and stuff. If we was to drain some of these rivers, you'd be surprised what you find in that water. You see what I'm
Mm.
saying? There's a lot of hidden stuff here that we don't even much know about. There are some people don't even believe that there are pyramids in the United States. Go to St. Louis. You'd be surprised what you see in St. Louis. You see what I'm saying? It's bigger than just it's bigger than that. They know why they want this island. They don't want us with nothing. You see, but at the end of the day, we got to fight for what's ours in order for them to enjoy it. Because they're
You
not
didn't
gonna give
just
it to
drop
us.
out of the sky, brother. You didn't just come out of nowhere. And every time they talk about you, they say you come from West Africa. You
Hmm.
didn't drop out of the sky. And
No,
even
I
when
come
they say
from.
you come from West Africa, where?
It's
Where in West
always
Africa you come from?
they always designate you to Ghana, West
That
Africa.
they designate you. It's crazy, man. You just all of these people just popped up on slave ships, and you're still wondering where the slave ships are. I'm still looking for them slave ships
But the
because
And
end,
they're
then,
not in
uh,
America.
and
the
then
Now they
end,
may
peanut.
be in Africa, but they're not here in America.
but then
And then back to
again,
what you said, peanut. About the Asians. Okay, when they brought the Asians over here as slaves, they put them with the originals, and they were mating with the originals. Now, get this. So the Europeans didn't want them to have the land. So what they did, they were slaughtering off the originals, and they was making babies. So they started sleeping with the Asians. That's where you get the red man from. That's where
That's
the
right.
red man came in, and then later on, that's where you get your $5 Indian
Well,
because they made them the oversee
no,
of
no,
the
no. That
original.
$5 Indian, I have to disagree with you on this because
No, they used them. They used them to become the $5 Indian.
yeah,
That's
because
how they did.
that $5 Indian, and I wish you could pull it up. One of you guys could pull it up what they did. That $5 Indian had no business even getting in the plans of money.
Period. But that's why I was
Period.
showing you that they used the Asian and they gave them a little praise. You know, it's like the house Negro and the field Negro. So you do this, da da da, we give you that. And they used the red man, which was the Asian part of the slaves that they brought over because they didn't bring the Aboriginals. They was killing them off
Hey,
and
look.
used them and gave them the land and then went in and bought the land, traded them for the $5, gave them that, and that's how they ended up with the land.
All right. Hey, look. On the red man part, that's a misconception. Like when you look at like words like tawny, uh, fuscus, like they'll tell you like it's like a reddish brown. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the ancestors were in America. They were a reddish brown. Like when you look at words like swarthy, like the so-called blacks that lived in Europe, they were a lot of dark-skinned blacks. Not like they had people that were light skinned as well, but the majority of Europe was dark skinned for the most part. So like when you look
Yeah, the
at
original people in Europe were black. I just want to make confirm that.
right, but look, when you look at your skin, if you go outside and like you stand in the sun and you look at your skin, you'll see red in the brown. You know what I'm saying? You have a
Sure would.
reddish, you have a reddish brown tint. So when they say the red man, the original red man is you. You know what I'm saying? They called
That's
you
where they
red.
get redskin from.
Facts. That's why, like, when you look at like the logos, like Cleveland Indians, at one time, like the Redskins. You know what I'm saying? The Redskins. That's us. Even though it's a fake image of a mongoloid, that's
Oh,
referring to us. Referring to us.
okay, then. Thanks for clearing that up.
Now, I want to clear
Just,
this up, and I'm glad he told you that. But I want you to understand that that European who came down, who did not even know how to bathe, you have to understand that we taught them everything. And you got to be careful. You got to be careful what you do with the white man. Because the white man, as you teach, they try to conquer. See, they don't come here to learn, they come to take. They're a nation of taking. Now, I'm not going to say all white people are bad, but I'm going to tell you, you keep your eyes open. Because even the poorest white, once they get on top of their life, they get money, they forget that they were poor. It's just something in their bloodline. Go ahead.
I was just gonna touch on the fact, but the real rap was saying about the Washington mascot, because don't forget the image they're using for Florida State too as the Native American. You see what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, everybody failed to acknowledge who we are. Hell, we don't accept who we are. So why we expect the next person
Thank
to
you.
know what we are? Until you acknowledge who you are, then maybe
You
you'll get
are the
some respect.
original people. You're the original people. And we're talking about beyond Africa. We're talking about beyond everybody else. We are the original people. And people can't put that in their mind to see that we're special. Why the hell, as we the only people that have been named 9 different names? That
I
should
like what
tell you something about us.
Copper Color just said.
9 different names. You don't go from being called Indian, color, black, native, African, all these different names that they try to mess our minds up. Everything but the original. Manipulating our minds with movies. Hollywood has manipulated our minds with movies. Everything we watch is us being slaves. Who were you before slavery? Because everything that we see is us being slaves.
Exactly.
Go ahead, real rap.
And that's why I tell people Black History Month is a joke. You know what I'm saying? It's a joke because all it is slave history and post slavery, like Jim Crow era, like and into the '60s. Like that's all that is. You know what I'm saying? Like it tells you nothing about what your people did pre 1492. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of fabricated history out there. It's a lot of stuff that's make believe. Some of the storylines are true, but the faces 99.9% of the time are fake. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's a white face talking about somebody that's indigenous. The person that they talk about might be real, but the imagery that they show you is fake. And then sometimes they'll add like their little, 2 cents on it as well. You know? But I mean, as far as like what y'all was saying earlier with Ice Cube, right? Um, Kind of back to him right quick. I just, I just don't see one person coming up with a plan, for a nation of people. Number one, so-called black people don't follow anybody. You know what I'm saying? We make believe like we do, but we don't follow like one person. That person a lot of times gets killed uh, for trying to stand up. Like even, I mean, like salute to him, but even like Martin Luther King, like when you look him up, you know, Bayard Rustin was behind him. A. Philip Randolph was behind him. These were like two flagrant homosexuals, man. Like, especially Bayard Rustin. These were the people that helped write his speeches, um, and were handlers of Martin Luther King. And if you look into, how his family died, his mom was shot by like a midget, and I can't remember how his dad died. I think he killed. I can't remember. He killed his dad too, but his brother ended up drowning. You know what I'm saying? He just had a messed up like after he died, like a lot of messed up things happened to his family. So don't forget people get, like I said, lifted to get tore down as well. That's another aspect to it. People get lifted to get tore down. So like I said, man, the end all be all, we're tribal, you know, we'll come together for a cause, but to say that everybody's gonna fall under one leader, we don't do that. You know, we uplift our women, beside us and rulership, but as far as following like one person, that's not. And like I said, it's not enough money on the table as well. But I'm gonna say one more thing, and I'm gonna get out of here. Um, a lot of people want to say something because he talked to Trump. Like, look, bro, like when you're a king, before you go to war, you know, you sit down with that other king or that other kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Two kingdoms sit down and they discuss. If they can't come to like civil terms, all right, next time I see you is war. You know, so people have to get off this thing. Like I'm not going to White House to talk to Trump. Like if you live in the system, like you have to be able to talk to the person that's the highest ranking in the system. You know, to read a temperature on people like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what you gotta do. Look, bro, I'm gonna get out of here. Chief Peanut, man. Salute to the panel. Salute to the chat, man. Yeah, look, bro, it's a dope live, man. I'm gonna
For
I'm gonna
those
pause, man. But I'm gonna catch that.
follow real rap, this brother here, this young brother here, his channel is on fire. Please follow the brother. Well, I'm gonna sit here and tell y'all this. Is that and Dawn Birdsong, one white person come up with a plan, law every day. It's agreed on and passed into law. Q plan was not accomplished by himself alone. And I do agree. Now, the question is, I'm not against Ice Cube. I'm not against, I ask the question is, do you believe as a nation of people that he's doing it purely in his heart for his people? Or do he have a agenda? So this was what this was all about. It was all about, I wanted on to hear from our people. What do you think about Ice Cube? Because we have several people who have agendas. We have several people who say that they're for us, but they're really not for us. We have people who get money under the table. So we want to know, is Ice Cube doing this sincerely for our people? Is he an agent? So we want to know. Because a lot of celebrities are very wealthy people. A lot of celebrities are very wealthy people. So we want to know, what is they getting behind this? What are their agenda behind it? So I think it's legitimate for us to ask and find out from our people. So am I against Ice Cube? Hell no. Because I don't know what his agenda. But I'm asking the good people on my channel, what do you think about this guy? Because him sitting with Donald is not the problem. I don't have no problem with him sitting with Donald Trump. I don't have a problem with him sitting with Biden. But what is his agenda? Because until you understand, as a nation of people, that you keep voting these people in there that only want your vote, whether it's Joe Biden or whether it's Donald Trump, they don't know you as a nation of people. It's time for us Aboriginal people to come up with our own politics, to look for people who respect our agenda. And that's what we have to do. Go ahead on, brother.
Okay, and like you saying, big brother, it is gender, because I feel like you got to look at it as all these celebrities, and you have these people voting Democrat, Republican, or the celebrity siding with one side or the other. I said, y'all got millions of dollars. I said, why you can't go get a respectable person in the community like Dr. Clara Anderson or somebody who been in politics for years? Put y'all money behind him and run your own campaign and party. Why is y'all siding with these people? So, like you said, you like Ice Cube, I like Ice Cube, but what's y'all agenda? You know what I'm saying? Because y'all got the money to push y'all own campaign or put y'all own person in place, and then we can vote for them. Because if y'all put y'all money behind them, we gonna put our money behind them. Because now we got our own party going.
Right.
But y'all still want to go Republican or Democrat.
And Democrat.
Like that's the only party. Everybody forget about the independents.
And the Green Party and all these other parties that's out there.
That's, you know what I'm saying? Like I told folks, like gang banging. You got Crips and Bloods, red and blue. Democrats and Republicans, red and blue. The French Revolution, red coats, blue coats. I said, don't nobody think about that. they want you to stay divided.
That's the main thing.
Get in between and come in the middle and meet together
I'm
and push
glad
the
you're on this
opposites out.
topic because the reason why I brought up concentration camps, Alex, and there was a little city called Natchez, Mississippi.
Hmm.
Now, Natchez, Mississippi, this story that I'm about to tell you guys is it's called the Devil's Punch Bowl. It's called the Devil's Punch Bowl in Natchez, Mississippi. For those who want to Google that, check it out. I also made a video about a year ago. I want you guys to understand that we don't want to be into the next Devil's Punch Bowl. Now, the story was that we had indigenous, black, melanated people that were put in, that were caused in prisoners of war. They enslaved these people, took their land, and dumped them in a hole. And the ashes and the bones from our ancestors grew a peach tree. Several peach trees grew with underneath of our ancestors. Now, I want you guys to understand that the ashes from our people grew a peach tree, and the native of that area refused to eat the peaches off the tree. Why is that story is not told in American history? Because they've been slaughtering our people from the beginning to now. You voting for your oppressors. You voting for people who don't love you. After November the 3rd, you won't hear about the black vote. After November the 3rd, what did we get as a nation of people? What are we going to get? Don't tell me Donald Trump gave you some schools, some education for some money for some black school. What did you get in your community? Don't tell me Joe Biden gave you some grants. When are you going to understand that you're being used by the same people, families, and ancestors that have ruled over our own people? Their fathers, great, 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 great grandmothers, grandfathers ruled us. And now they're giving you a good song. The same old song that they have been preaching to us. Pray to white Jesus. Love your enemy. When the Most High said that he hated. See, when they don't talk the real scriptures, that the Most High did not love everybody. He had two sons. One was named Jacob, and one was named Esau. The Most High said, Esau, Jacob, I loved. Esau, I hated. So the Most High clearly did not love everyone. They'll tell you to love everyone, when they clearly don't love you. And it starts with us loving us. Then we can begin fixing everybody else. And this is why these panels are so important. So we can get dialogue on how to love us and strengthen us financially. Because we are at the bottom. We can never catch up to our oppressor. So what would you ask Joe Biden? What would you ask Donald Trump that they can give you? If they're not doing what they did for the Jews, for Jewish people, or what they've done for the so-called natives, don't expect them to do anything for you. We are owed more than you know. But if they had to pay us, we would bankrupt this country. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah,
Lady Solo in the house.
all truth,
Brian.
big boy. All
Purple.
truth. Back to where you were talking about the story of the peaches and stuff. And I can't say this factual because it was a long time when I read it. But it's the reason I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. Well, I still do it out of respect for family getting together. But I don't eat the turkey. The turkey was a representation of them cooking the black man and eat and partaking in it. Fried turkey. So I remember reading that. I probably have to go through a whole bunch of stuff to try to find it again. But like you said about eating the peaches, that was something I read, so I don't partake in it. And there's a lot of stuff like that out here that we just don't know that symbolize stuff that they was doing to our ancestors.
But they don't tell you that in school. They don't tell you about the devil's punch bowl. They don't tell you how trees grew underneath of our backs. That our ashes grew peaches. And that they refused to eat the peaches because of their guilt.
Mm-hmm.
And they knew what was under there. That we fertilized the trees. Our bodies fertilize the trees.
Exactly.
And they say that it's been haunted over there for several years. It's been haunted with our ancestors over there. That means our people, souls, have not been released.
That goes back to where I was telling somebody about funerals. I told my family, I said, you better not bury me in no casket. Even the Bible said it. From dust I came, dust I shall return. You ate from the earth fed you. When you die, your body is supposed to go back in the earth and let a tree grow out of it. That's why they put you in coffins. White man made it up. They want your body in a coffin. They don't want you buried in the earth. It refertilizes it and replenish it.
You're speaking the truth, Chief.
But only thing we can do is get cremated, because if we were to do that, it's illegal. And they're going to lock your family members up for burying you in the ground.
We don't grow trees back after we pull them all out the ground, building houses. We are destroying Mother Earth. And we're sitting back and watching these cave dwellers who don't have respect for nature. And we are just as worse as the cave dwellers, because we have adapted their ways. We got more black men who think they are white men. We got black women who think that they're a white woman. They bleach their hair. They color their hair. They don't love themselves. Well, see, the worst thing could have ever happened was the Barbie doll. The Barbie doll teaching that the white Barbie doll was more prettier than the black Barbie doll. That gives stigmas on our people when they believe that their skin is ugly. Michael Jackson bleached his skin because he believed that he was ugly. He said his nose was too big. This is what they do to our people. Our people believe that their lips and their nose was too big, and they suckered us out of believing that. And guess what? They want them big lips. White women are injecting their lips. They told you that we are animals and we love watermelon. And they're the main ones who eat the watermelon. I go to the South, you go anywhere in the South, and you see more white people eat watermelon. But they call you the monkeys. They say that you the beast, you the animal. You're not even fit to be human. See, I can't make this up. They use dolls to tell who's beautiful. They use your hair to tell you that it's... See, melanated people, your hair is thick for a reason. See, our ancestors would have told you this, but they didn't get a chance to tell you this. Your hair is a defense mechanism of the body that keeps bugs and germs from attacking your scalp. Your hair in your ears keeps germs. Stop shaving your ears. Your nose, the hair in your nose is protecting you from disease. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. You have the seed of the Most High in you. You are the original person. The Taliban God, he said, 3 roots, dreadlock. And that's a fact. Your hair is something that you got to cherish, that is beautiful about you. It's a perfection. It's your antennas. And you keep destroying and permanent your hair. That's the reason why I'm bald headed to this day. I laugh about it now. I used to have that S curl in my head. Put a boy, trying to look good for the girls. But I'm bald headed now. See, what you don't know then, you should know now. As you get older, you should get wiser. You're not the same person that you was 5 years ago. You evolve and you get better. Stop hating yourself. You are the original people that we were scattered in every part of the earth. They told you civilization started in Africa, but they didn't tell you America was connected to Africa. People fail to tell the truth about who we are. We are the Most High original people. We're the only people that is treated like shit. So that tells you you're special. Go ahead on, Brother Alex.
Yeah, I just wanted to add this point because you in Mississippi now. And I just want to let some people know about Mississippi. These folks supposed to be so hateful and so racist. But if you down here on a Sunday, go to any black-owned restaurant and watch who in there. You can't even get in because white folks get out of church at 11 o'clock. And if it's a buffet at a black restaurant, it's packed all day with white people until it's time for black people to get out of church. But they get out at 2 o'clock, so they be gone by then. So that shows you how far their racism goes. It's just a control mechanism. They don't hate us. They fear us. They really love us. They just don't want to let us know it. And once we find out how much they love, we can control them.
But a response to Copper Color, this brilliant young man, I gotta sit here and tell you this. He said, "Wow, you hit it right on the point, King, about Africa and American. What they don't tell you is we are not that different from anybody, but we are the original people. We're the first, but we was connected to every continent. We were able to go on mules and travel and do trade. See, we were everywhere. But our original farm is America. And people got to wonder why the white man don't want Africa and he wants America. He could have Africa. They colonized. But what do he want the most? You have to understand these things. What do he want the most?
Facts.
We ain't got hard to see that he don't want the Africa. He can have Africa. But he wants America. And he's trying to get rid of you.
You know America produces more oil than Africa does?
Yes, it does. There's a lot of things here in America that people don't know about. The pyramids. See, people don't understand that the very first woman that was here was a black woman. When civilization started, they found us. For many years, they was telling you that the natives were the first people until they really looked in and they saw the bone structures of the people. They seen that it didn't make sense. That the big noses, the big lips. How did they get here? How are they in Africa and here? Because we traveled to Africa for resources. We went down there getting some stuff for them, and we traded and gave them some stuff from us. And some of our people were brought to Africa, enslaved. It's called told in reverse. These stories was taught in reverse. They tell you Egypt. They tell you all this, all this is over there. But look at the Mississippi River. Go check it out. Go look at the Grand Canyon. Ask yourself, why is the Olmecs there? I think it was Florida that scientists believe was connected to Northern Africa. You are so correct. You were so correct. But you got to understand that Brazil, underneath us, Mexico, all that stuff underneath us, was also connected. When you look at Haiti, Hawaii, all these little islands were all connected to us. It was one big puzzle. And every people of color came from us. Every person of color and white come from us. It's easy to tell you a whole stack of people came from Africa, and they all just came from Africa, but they can't tell you where. They can't tell you where. They just say West. Oh, you just come from West. Go ahead, brother. I think that's 504 indigenous brother back. Go ahead.
I put them in the refrigerator. What's up, brother? Well, Black, I'm back though. But yeah, though, that's what I was trying to tell you earlier. You know, when I said go to St. Louis, because St. Louis has some things that people don't believe is over there, like pyramids and stuff like that. There's a lot of things people don't know that's in America, like go to Grand Canyon and stuff like that. There,
Well, Memphis also have pyramids.
yeah.
Illinois, Cairo, Illinois, definitely have pyramids. Which let me ask y'all a question. If you found out Tulsa, Oklahoma, right now, if they would drop bombs on them wealthy black people who had surgeons, who had banks, who had everything, if they would drop bombs on them, what you think they would do
To
to
you,
our structures?
you are nobody compared to them.
That's right.
Why you think they fighting and kicking and scratching to stay on top right now? Pay attention to the times. They kicking and scratching, going off on the black people every chance they get, man, because they know their time is near. Their time on top has expired. They doing anything possible to stay on top, from the president on down, all the way down. Now my question is, what we gonna do? Move? Because we can. Let me tell you something. If you look at the numbers, man, we outnumber them. If we put our mind to it and come together, we can overpower the government.
Yeah, they
But you
told
got
you that they outnumber us, but they see that's what I told y'all about the census. Stop putting yourself as an African American on your census. Stop doing that. You are doing nothing but enabling your people. If you say and you believe and you know the knowledge of yourself that you are Aborigine, put yourself as indigenous to this land. Stop making yourself an immigrant in your own land, people. You can't be African and American at the same time.
you just
Can't be
can't.
a continent
You can't.
and a
You can't
country
straddle.
at the same time. I don't get it. I don't get it. Because in 1988, when Jesse Jackson, Messy Jesse, passed the bill for us to be African, we fell for it.
Mm-hmm.
And they put us in one big boat. This is why the cops are able to put us all in one big boat, unjustified. And one more thing I want to ask you, Mr. 504. How come when Rosa Parks was on the
Uh-oh.
bus
Uh-oh.
and she was told to go into the back of the bus,
Uh-oh. I know
and
where you're
the
going with this.
African take over for a second.
Well, you was trying to complete the sentence saying, why was Rosa supposed to be told to go in the back of the bus, but the Africans was able to sit at the front of the bus? So I guess your question to me was, why was Rosa Parks had to go to the back when the Africans could sit in the front? And it goes back to what I say. When you don't know who you are, how can you stand up for something? Until you figure out who you are, you sit in the corner. Because ain't nowhere in the world you and the African the same color, they get special privileges as you. You don't get the same thing as them. I just don't believe that.
Yeah. And that's back to the census. It's a well, I don't never fill out the census. That's what happened with the Million Man March. It wasn't so much as that it was a good thing for the Million Man March, but it was also a bad thing. What it was, they didn't know how many melanated men it was in the economy. So
Right.
all of them had to sign up for the Million Man March to get them a number. This the same thing they do with the census. They want to know how many in your household, how many and I never fill it out. They say you're gonna get repercussions and stuff, but every time they send it, they say by law you got to fill it out. No, I don't send nothing back. You
And
don't
that's
need
what
to
I'm
know
trying to
who in
get.
my house.
And that's what I'm trying to get people to understand. Like, if we sit back if we could just tomorrow alone, just sit back and think about how many melanated people are in this world, and if you can sit back and think how many men, we outnumber those other people by millions. And if we outpower, bro, it's power in numbers. We can overthrow the government if we want to. Yeah, we'll lose a few in the battle, but shit, we can do it. If you really want to change something, you can. That's how you change
But
it.
when you consistently listening to these people, vote, 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 because your money gonna get it for the schools, and you're not understanding that you're putting yourself in one big box. You're not understanding that. So I'm telling you, if you know who you are, start putting down who you are, because they're doing this to us,
If
and
you
because we are doing it to ourselves for lack of knowledge.
and if we put down, if everybody that's melanated put down, if they do the census and they put down indigenous on their census, they'll do away with the African American bull. Because that whole concept will go away. Because how can you have African Americans and indigenous, and if all these people are indigenous, then where the African Americans at?
Exactly.
We've been saying this for a very long time. Why are we, as a nation of people, think that these people mean well by us? What makes you believe that they love you?
Love don't live here anymore.
No. And and this is why I'm just saying, brothers. We get these open panels, and we talk dialogues, and you strong brothers be on here, and we be giving our knowledge. But is people truly listening to us? They hear us, but are they taking it in?
True.
Are they really, or what? Do they? Because some people are afraid of change. They'd rather be that doggone African American because they're afraid of change.
Exactly, bro. Because that's why I say you have to want. Let me tell you something. If you, yeah, it's true. So I agree with you when I say people are afraid of change. I know I'm stuttering, but when I came to Texas, I from New Orleans for Katrina. Hell yeah, I was scared because I had to change, and I didn't know where I was at. I was in a foreign land with nobody I knew. So yeah, I was afraid. I had to change. But after you get comfortable and from your change, it's time to get warrior mode now.
That's a great example of what you just said. Us New
So
Orleans people were called refugees. We were called refugees in our own country. All of us was born here, and they called us a refugee. And George Bush told Brownie, "You're doing a good job." Michael Brown. They were flying over us while people was on roofs.
What
So I want you
sign?
to understand that these people look at you as an immigrant.
Oh,
Why would they love you?
are you gonna put some icing on that cake? Guess what? Y'all out here voting. Guess what happened? Nancy Pelosi was in office during Hurricane Katrina too.
Hmm.
Joe Biden was in off in the little politics group too when around Hurricane Katrina time. You see what I'm saying? You see the games they all was playing. Pelosi been in office 47, 49 years. Katrina is how long? So she was in government. Some of that blame goes on her too because she didn't help the people. You see
They put him,
Maxine
you know,
Waters.
that was a Republican president. George
My
Bush
point
was a
exactly.
Republican president, and you had a
You see what I'm
Democrat
saying?
that was in the House.
Yeah, why I say all of them share a little fault in that because all y'all been. I feel like those who been in office over 30 years, you were either even at least over 20, 25 years. You got seniority. You should have some kind of say so on what goes on around here. They need to. That's why I don't believe in the system now, man, because they supposed to put the big boy pants on, your big girl draws, and come on with it and stop bullshitting and show the people who voted them in there to do a job. You
I'm
see
gonna
what I'm saying?
close this session, but I need you guys to have the last words because I got to close this session. I talked to my wife about something, but
But go ahead, man.
I'm gonna
Like I
start
say,
with you because you're the one talking right now.
okay, cool. You know, pop out, pow.
Go ahead, my
But
brother.
oh man. But look, check this out. It's good. It's nice. We had a good time, man. You know, but until next time, we all have a good time. So next time we see each other, I'm out. But look, like and subscribe to my channel, Mr. 504 Indigenous Warrior, man. And I'm out.
All right, Mr. Alex.
Man, it was lovely tonight. I always love my big brother Peanut channel. Salute to the chat, Mr. Purple. I'm gonna just say Mississippi. I can't remember what his name was, and a few others. And it was just great. Always great to be on the panel with Peanut, and hopefully we do this again. And peace and good love to the family.
Yeah, I want to tell you guys, and I'm gonna bring this list up because we had some awesome people that came in today. So purple lover, copper, copper color, bronze, real rap, yourself, Mr. 504 brother, the teleback, Mr. Naja Welch, Dawn Birdsong, bronze, Lady Solo, Love Town. I just want to thank all you guys for your support, and we'll be back on very soon. We got Maria. I think that's Marie. Okay, either Maria or Mari. But we will be back on soon, and we will have some very strong content for you guys. Please subscribe to my channel, Peanut Nola 504. Also hit the bell. I'm out of here.
Peace and blessings, man.
Copper Lioness in the house.